Welcome back. Jay Fagan here again with the Maddox Group for our home buying seminar. Our final session of this video series is the legacy of home buying, crafting your desired future, and how homeownership fits into that. We have worked with our partners to do a kind of legacy planning seminar, and we'll touch on some of those items here. We'll probably film that in a future series. Over the last several years, I'm now of that age where loved ones are starting to pass, where we're giving eulogies, where we're seeing unexpected challenges crop up, sicknesses out of nowhere, and time is caught up too short. And so I've been thinking more and more about how to plan for that, how to ensure you pass on those important lessons and memories to the next generation, and how homeownership in so many of these scenarios has been a vital part of that legacy, not only for the couple or the widow or widower in their situation, but for the children and for the future grandchildren and so on, and how home ownership just binds multi-generational families, builds multi-generational wealth, creates lasting opportunities. So stick with us here for our final session as we talk about crafting your desired future. So you've analyzed all the data, you've scoured Zillow, you've closed on your first home, and now it's tax time. I want you to keep these documents handy. We call this our gold file. That's because manila envelopes are gold. You can keep it digitally, you can keep it in a physical file, or both. But we encourage you to keep these documents and a few others that I'm going to talk about here. For each year, your tax advisor is going to be happy, you're going to be happy, your dog is going to be happy, all's going to be well in the world. The closing disclosure, this is our first document. This is one of our forever documents. For as long as you own a property, you want the closing disclosure for when you buy it. And subsequently, when you sell it, you want the closing disclosure from the sale. There's very critical information on there to help us with that capital gain calculation or capital loss if the situation warrants. And it's one of those key legacy planning documents that's super vital, particularly if homes are converted to a rental and maybe down the road there's a 1031 exchange, inheritance, that sort of thing. Closing disclosures are king. Keep those safe and secure. You get that from your title company. It used to be called the HUD-1. Now here in California, it's called the closing disclosure. Every year that you have a mortgage, you're going to get a 1098. This document is going to provide the amount of mortgage interest you paid, any points that you paid on the purchase or refinance, the PMI, if you have private mortgage insurance. If you have an escrow account, as many homebuyers do, where you pay each month into a savings account and your bank remits your property taxes and home insurance payment for you, it's going to have that escrow activity, which is going to be very important. It also has some other information that's necessary for that $750,000 mortgage limit that your tax advisor is going to need. If you have an escrow account, you probably get a 1099 every year on the interest that is accrued in that escrow account. Make sure you provide that to your tax advisor, because if you don't, the IRS is going to get it, and you're going to get a correction letter, CP letter, computer-generated letter from the IRS and your state tax agency if you live in a state that pays income taxes. And those are always nasty letters to get in the mail. That's one of the reasons why our firm doesn't do transactional tax, where you give us our shoebox each year and we say, see you again next year. We're what we call a relational tax advisor. You have access to me throughout the entirety of the year. You don't ever have to worry about what you're going to pay by the form or by the hour. If you have questions, I have answers, and I want you to talk to me. And so ideally, we're talking in advance to making sure you don't get those nasty letters and those surprise letters. But if they happen, you just reach out to us and we'll help you out. Annual property tax statements. Now, if you have an escrow account, these probably go straight to your bank. You should get a copy of them yourself, but make sure you grab them, because property taxes are paid twice a year and they are on a fiscal year. So they're going to bridge 2 calendar tax years. So you should have 2 each year for your tax advisor. On that property tax statement, particularly in the year you buy the home, this is important. You're going to see value that the county assessor assigned to the buildings and improvements on your property, and a value that they assigned to the land on your property. Those numbers are vitally important if you're going to use this property for business purposes, as a rental, maybe renting out the land for crop ground, that kind of thing. Tax advisor needs those numbers. You need to hang on to them. So we always suggest that your first property tax statement after purchasing the home are retained in perpetuity. Finally, any home improvements that you make, we want you to keep the receipts. Now, what is an improvement? An improvement is something that changed the nature of the property for the better. Repairs, what we like to call RON, reasonable, ordinary, necessary, those are things that you must do just to maintain a property. Paint, changing the carpet, changing out faucets, light bulbs, appliances, those are ordinary and necessary. However, when you make significant improvements to the property, such as remodeling kitchens and bathrooms, changing the nature of flooring to a higher quality, maybe you go from carpeting to hand-scraped European oak hardwood floors. Maybe you take the roof from simple asphalt shingles to wood shake or a metal roof or slate, and you've changed the nature. You've improved the nature of the house. That information we want to retain because when it comes time to sell the house, those improvements can increase your investment basis or your net value in the house. And the difference between that number and your net selling price is what you may have a capital gain to pay on come tax time. So those receipts, project descriptions can be very, very important for the future. We encourage you to keep those in your forever file. In addition to these documents, particularly as we consider your legacy, there's some great tools that are available now. If you're an Apple phone user, Password Manager is baked right in. There are great apps that are available for Android and Apple users. And this is a place to store your passwords and key information in a secure enclave. Why do we like these tools? LastPass is one, and in particular, we're an Apple office, so we like Password Manager baked into the phones because they allow you to designate a beneficiary. And when our time on earth is through, that beneficiary receives those critical numbers, dates, documents, and passwords to enable your legacy to be smoothly executed and transitioned to your beneficiaries and those things that you care about. When it comes to legacy planning in particular, and homeownership as a unique aspect of it, I encourage you to have conversations. Have conversations with your children, with key family members, with folks that you're considering leaving your legacy to. They need to know your story. They need to understand what mattered to you and why it mattered so that the legacy you build, the assets you build can be executed not necessarily to your wishes, but in the style and manner and with the intent that you helped teach along the way. Home buying, it comes with fears and trepidations and legitimate concerns. Smart home buying is as sure a recipe for success as freezing butter is for making delicious biscuits.
Yummy.
Prudent home ownership, as we say, builds future wealth. So buy a home that is financially and dimensionally sustainable for your family. Look for a home in a marketable neighborhood, ensuring its value grows for you and a future buyer over time. Remember, this isn't necessarily going to be your forever home. Pick a home that meets your present needs and ideally can grow with you. Be reasonable and objective in your decisions. And please don't fall victim to great campaigning. Build a trustworthy team of dedicated professionals with the hearts of teachers to support you on this journey and for years to come. Finally, share this story. As I was saying, teach your children, your nieces and nephews, and even the neighborhood kiddos, and enjoy the fruits of a vibrant family tree that is forever changed by your smart choices. Now, I don't expect you to know everything. I certainly don't. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly looking for new things. And with the advent of the internet and now AI and so many great authors out there, so many great researchers and commentators and social media influencers, there's content, there's information. And if you still feel like you have more to learn, guess what? You do. I'm going to add this list of recommended reading to your light bedtime routines. And hopefully these resources will spark in you some of the inspiration and clarity and information that's helped transform my life and those of my clients. I'm incredibly grateful for your attention to this video series. My firm stands ready to assist you in your journey. We're more than excited to walk through your individual scenarios to give you the tools to make your best home buying decisions. We offer complimentary free tax assessments to any potential new client, and particularly we reward referrals. We're immensely grateful for the trust our clients place in us and that sacred trust of a referral. So we want to reward those great referrals that come in from our great and trusted clients. We want you to know, of course, that we trust and value you, and we're going to provide that same outstanding level of service to the folks you send our way. I want to wish you immense luck and success, and all the good fortune and abundance of happiness and life for you and in your family and in your new home. Thank you again for your attention to this seminar. Please check out our other content as we put it out. If there's anything that you see that you have questions about, we can help you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, I want to reiterate our TMG endorsed providers. If there's somebody that you need in your life to fill one of those objectives, goals, legal, professional, insurance, or you just want a great place to go out and eat, spend time to celebrate this new home, check out our TMG endorsed providers. There's great options there for you, we're adding to it all the time. And if you have a recommendation for us to check out, please don't hesitate to pass it along. Thanks again. We'll be talking soon.